who the f is better than Adam Sandler? You know what I mean? The reason I love him the most is because he danced with my Aunt Lillian at my wedding. Okay? This man flew into Washington, D.C. and danced with a bunch of black women. Okay? If the revolution ever comes, I want my black brothers and sisters to know that Adam Sandler danced with Lillian. So we shall spare him. Hey everybody, Chris Rock here, and I am about to play Esquire's Explain This. And what I'm gonna do is watch clips and pictures and stuff from my career. And I think they're playing music behind me right now, and they have different angles for different cameras. And it makes me seem so much more interesting than I actually am. I'm Chris Rock, and your mother likes me a lot. And I don't care. I don't care. You'll discover me.
Hours, not days.
How can I catch this guy? If there's nobody on the force, I can trust!
You can't do this alone.
So this first one is from Spiral. Spiral, a horror movie I have that's coming out really soon. It's really good. It's scary. It's a funny movie, but you know, not funny like Scary Movie, funny like Get Out was funny every now and then, okay? And it's got me, Sam Jackson, the great Sam Jackson, right? Max Minghella, who is really good. You might have seen him on The Handmaid's Tale. His father directed The Talented Mr. Ripley, which is, I never wished to be white, but it was like, hey man, it'd be great if they had some black people in The Talented Mr. Ripley. I kind of want to do a movie with a bunch of black people in the south of France. I just got to figure it out. I got to do it soon before I start aging. Not that I haven't started aging, but you know what I mean. Well, someone might want to me. I should get it in before me is a chore. Hey, my neck was not steamed, but I was courtside, whoever made this, at Golden State Warriors versus Cleveland Cavaliers. So I'm watching Steph Curry and LeBron with a collar. I was with my ex-girlfriend, so I'm with a bad on a private jet, sitting courtside. Yeah, my collar was but you're making a meme, You wanna switch? Okay. People think this is like Photoshop. This is a picture of me with Dwayne Johnson, The Rock, and Kid Rock. By the way, I existed before Dwayne Johnson. When you weren't even thinking about The Rock, you know, I was around, and Kid Rock. I hosted the MTV Awards one year, and he sang. He did Bob to the dang, diggity ding. Here's the sad thing. Years ago, when I was famous and The Rock wasn't, and they would say, hey, you wanna do a movie with The Rock? I'm like, are you f***ing crazy? This is the wackest I've ever heard. Now, the guy's like the biggest action star in the world, and I'm like, hey, can I get 2 lines? Hey, Mr. Johnson, maybe I could be in Fast and Furious. I could have a wrench. I don't even need a car. Just maybe I change tires and Fast and like I'm begging the Rock for a job. When you see a black man on a horse going that fast, you just gotta let him fly. Now this is a perfect example of the Forrest Gumpness of my life. I had no idea who Lil Nas X was, right? So I get asked to do this video, and I asked my daughter, Zara, should I do this video? She goes, what? Of course you should do this video. Like, I'm in the video for the biggest song ever made. I don't know how the that happened. And by the way, I'm allergic to horses. So I had to ride a horse all day. I thought I was gonna die. I thought my throat was gonna close up. Like, I almost died for Lil Nas X. This one, I have a book coming out. I think we settled on My One Black Friend. I wrote a joke years ago, one of my favorites, because I just sit around and admire my own writing. You haven't read anything till you've read my prose. Anyway, I wrote this joke, and the joke went like this. It was like, all my black friends have a bunch of white friends, and all my white friends have one black friend. It's kind of like a fuck you to all my white friends. I don't know, the book is a compilation. Like, people sent me stories of their interracial friendships. So it's like my first black friend and my first black boss and my first black boyfriend. As crazy as the world is right now with race, you know, it's tearing the world apart, and it always has. Even though everything's going on right now and George Floyd and all this stuff is going on, it ain't 1964. It ain't 1958. Black people and white people and Asian people and Latin people and everybody, we are hanging out more than ever. So on one hand, yes, we are not getting along. On another hand, you know, we party hard together, okay? The great coffee table book. If you're white, this is a great, hey, I'm not racist. I got the Chris Rock book. Hey, this is the movie the week of me and one of my closest friends, the incomparable, the genius, Adam Sandler. Me and Sandler started out together at this comic strip in New York. We used to make like $7 a night. Here's the thing about the comedy clubs. You usually, you know, you got to work your way up. So you start off stacking chairs and cleaning tables and all this stuff. And then they let you go on during the week. And then if you're really good, they let you go on at the weekend. So that usually takes a year, 2 years, right? I literally go to LA for a week. I come back. I'd never even met Sandler. He's on a Saturday night. I'm like, who the is this guy? That he's on Saturday night. You know how long I had to work to get on a Saturday night spot? So I'm supposed to hate him. And I'm watching his act and he's so funny. He's so funny. I just fell in love with him. And he got off stage and we talked and we hung out. And he was going to NYU and I hung out at his dorm. I just love the guy. The guy's so funny. The guy's one of the best writers I've ever met. Like, any joke, any style, he can help you out. And he's a great actor. Have you seen Uncut Gems? Like, who the fuck is better than Adam Sandler? You know what I mean? The reason I love him the most is because he danced with my Aunt Lillian at my wedding. Okay? This man flew into Washington, D.C. and danced with a bunch of black women. Okay? If the revolution ever comes, I want my black brothers and sisters to know that Adam Sandler danced with Lillian. So we shall spare him. Hey, okay, this is a great day. Okay, so it's me, because it always starts with me, Adam, David Spade, and the late Chris Farley. I'm playing Universal Amphitheater, which would be the equivalent to Radio City. It doesn't even exist anymore in California. And it was my first big tour after I did the special Bring the Pain. And all of Hollywood came out, and you literally had Madonna and Eddie Murphy. Richard Pryor was there that night too, in a wheelchair, and watched from the side. I don't know, this looks like one of the last times I saw Chris alive. I would see him one more time, and I did a gig in Chicago. We tried to hang out afterwards, but you know, I don't know if you ever like really hung out with an addict towards the end. You know what I mean? Anything that isn't the drug is a chore. It's like, man. And I remember I was at his apartment and he showed me his apartment, and I leave and I see him out the window and I was like, that's probably the last time I'm gonna see him. Like, I knew. Me, Spade, and Sandler and Farley, we shared an office at Saturday Night Live. They kind of gave us our own, we call it a dorm. And we're friends to this day. Yeah, I love those guys.
Whenever my mother cleans up my room, she always takes out all my dirty magazines. Whenever your mother takes your dirty magazines, you can't say anything about it. If she don't say nothing, you don't say nothing. And to play it off like they were never there in the first place.
When you're 20 years old, I want you to remember this when you're 40. Don't let it go to your head, because you're very talented. Stay good.
Thank you.
We'll be right back for the very special.
Wow. I love Joan Rivers. The weird thing about that show, okay, that's my first time on television, on network television. I'm on with Pee Wee Herman and Howie Mandel. So I'm on with the most high energy comedians ever. Like, two of the greatest. And that's her very last show. Her show had just been canceled. Her husband had killed himself the day before. So no one knew even how to talk to her or whatever. And like during the commercial breaks, she was like really, really somber, and it was a weird. I always say, like, I have a life like Forrest Gump. Like, I'm always where the action is. Joan Rivers, one of the funniest comedians to ever live. One of my all-time favorites. Got such a raw deal for actually wanting her own show. It's like, everybody who her over. This is a nice one. So it's me, Mike Myers, Billy Crystal, and Robin Williams. Man, I'll just say right away, I love all those people. Mike Myers is like one of these guys, like, we were on Saturday Night Live together. And we're kind of the same age, but he's so good, we barely spoke. I kind of admired him from afar. He was like the girl I had a comedy crush on. It's like Wayne's World, Sprockets. People don't even know how funny Sprockets is. This guy is so funny. Robin Williams, come on, like the best. Live, Robin in a club. Robin Williams, the thing about I love Robin too, it's like he did something I aspired to do. I was like, before I say this, fame is not a thing to wish for, I don't think. But since I was already there, I always used to say, I hope I'm famous and relevant long enough that when my kids are in college, they could bring their friends to come and see me perform. And that's a cool thing. So I remember before Robin died, his son went to NYU. And sometimes his son and his friends would come in to watch Robin work. And to me, that was the coolest in the world. So hopefully, I think I'm gonna tour next year. I'm working on an act now. You know, I'll have 2 daughters in college. That's like my dream. Like, yo, daddy, I need 5 tickets because I'm bringing the crew to your show. Oh, this is a good night. Oh, God. Yeah, this is a good night. No, I'm not gonna say what really happened this night. But Eddie Murphy hosting Saturday Night Live. And we're all there. So it's Chappelle, the great Chappelle, the great Tracy Morgan, the great Kenan Thompson. It was so great. Like, it doesn't even it's so effortless what Kenan Thompson does. It looks effortless anyway. And we're there basically to honor our hero, the guy that none of us would have done it if it wasn't for Eddie Murphy. It was such an honor to be on stage with Eddie Murphy. I used to watch Saturday Night Live with my mother. We used to watch Eddie Murphy. And it was like the first time, like, you could laugh at dirty jokes with your mom. And he's like, you too can be a hoe. And your mother's like, ha ha! You're like, what's going on here? Yeah, this is one of the highlights of my career, honestly. I mean, a lot of my career highlights happened on that stage, but Eddie coming back and Eddie killing it. So funny, did all the original characters, Velvet Jones, Buckwheat, Gumby. It was an amazing night. Hey, Chris Rock here. Hopefully you're still watching this. Hopefully you're not, you didn't go to Netflix and watch Anya Taylor in that chess show. It's pretty good though. Hopefully you hung on to hear me talk about. Now, read Esquire. Those of you that can read, go see my movie Spiral in theaters. Yeah, ooh, that's spooky, right? Wear a mask. It'll be a hot summer. Hopefully I bump into some of you. I'm working on my act, trying to get funny.